welcome to the Conscious Kink Podcast with Miss LX. Let's jump into today's episode.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
It works.
Thank you, Mathos.
You're breathing in the mic. Thank you. So, hello.
Good evening.
I had said all these things and then my thing wasn't lighting up and I was like, "Oh, you can't hear me."
That's okay. We can start over if you'd like.
That's okay. So, last time we talked, we had talked about mute your mic. I can hear myself. Thank you. So, last time we talked,
Did
we had
anyone doubt
talked
the
about-
power dynamic between the two of them? Anyone?
So I gotta tell you, like the whole putting the
God, did you guys feel like you were like listening to him from inside him? Pull your mic away from your mouth when you're gonna talk. Okay, whatever. Anyways, I'm really sorry about that.
He's actually
I will-
not muted. I'll mute him right now.
No, he's muted and his mic is put up, and I was gonna say I will abuse him later, which I might, but I will punish him later is what I meant to say. Anyways,
Oh, this is going to be good times already.
are you done? Okay. May I finish? Okay. Thank you. So the last time we talked, I had talked about being a chronic people pleaser and my past abuse, like making me afraid to upset him and not being able to make decisions without his opinion. And I'm happy to say that I've been working on that, and the general consensus is that it's getting better. And it's not that I don't ever want his opinion, but I'm not relying on it as much as I was before. So it's allowing me to, step into a more dominant space, and it's allowing him to be submissive like he's supposed to be.
Wonderful.
So then I guess what I'm looking for, and I've asked him several times, like during this month, like you just need to have group coaching like every day because I need it every day. I've asked him several times, like, so what's the next step? And he's like, I don't want to do anything without asking her first because I feel like we would be disobeying her, which he has a point. So I guess that's my question. Like, what's our next step?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are you trying? Okay, so like, where are you trying to go? And then I can maybe tell you the path to take to get there.
Okay, so it was just like the chronic people pleaser part of me and the like low self-esteem part of me from past abuse. And then like, because you had told us to step out of like the whole dominant submissive role, and so that I could just work on healing that and being able to make my own decisions. And I feel that's what we did. So I'm like on the path to like correcting the I don't know.
Let me ask you this. What do you want your relationship to look like?
I want to be confident in being dominant over him and giving him what he needs without feeling like I'm gonna upset him.
Okay. So that's how you want to feel. How do you want your dynamic or relationship to look or operate?
We operate in a 24/7 dynamic. I'm dominant. He's submissive. He's my little one. I'm a Mommy Domme.
Okay.
So
Because I guess where my point of confusion is, because I'm with Queen Maeve. We're both hearing some hardcore dominant energy coming from you tonight where you don't give a shit what he thinks. So we're both seeing that tonight. And I guess my question is, do you not see that?
maybe in like this moment I can see it because like he is very like he's very submissive right now, but like just day-to-day life, I guess is where I would put it.
Okay.
Like you're just doing like the job thing, the housework thing, the kid thing, like in everyday life.
Okay.
And not just in a scene or like in a situation where we're at right now where just my looking at him is making him like shiver.
Right, but you're not in a scene right now and you can just look at him and make him shiver. Is my point.
So then I guess it just comes down to a confidence thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, so let me ask you this. When you're saying, like right now he's being really submissive, but I'm talking about like in everyday life, work stuff, kid stuff, whatever. So when you feel, let me backtrack. Do you feel that in your normal everyday vanilla life right now, when he isn't in an overtly submissive space, that's when you start to question yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So you are rocking it and not in your head or questioning things when you can see that he's in a submissive space.
Yes.
But in your everyday life, when there's work and chores and responsibilities and kids, you don't see him necessarily operating in a submissive space. So you question whether or not you are pushing things too far.
Or not far enough.
Or not far enough. Okay. So does he want to be your 24/7 submissive?
Yes.
Okay. And he wants you to be in charge, alpha, female, calling the shots, 24/7 basis, in and out of the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. Mommy Cass, do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay. What about his lack of overt submissive expression makes you question yourself?
I feel like maybe I didn't do it good enough, or I'm not doing something right, or I did something wrong.
Okay.
Whereas, like, during, like, everyday life, there could be something pop off during the day that, like, just in general has me frustrated or irritated and has nothing to really do with her at all.
When you run into those things, Mathos, are you aware enough that you would be able to communicate, hey, I'm in my head right now, but it's not because of you, or hey, I'm really frustrated right now, but it's not because of you?
Yeah, I can.
He does
Try.
that.
He does
try
that.
to do
Okay.
that, but I can emphasize on
No.
like
I
kind
don't
of
want
that.
you to emphasize. I'm just trying to get the context here. So Mommy Cass, he does do that. Does that make you feel better about it or not so much?
Not so much.
Okay.
Do you believe it?
Maybe sometimes I don't. I mean, talking through it right now, I mean, maybe I don't.
Okay. That's kind of where I'm at is you're very performative about your domination right now, Mommy Cass.
Yes.
And that is the least dominant thing that you could do. I love you. But that is the least dominant thing that you can do. So the thought of, as a dominant, that thought of I didn't do it good enough is not your thought to have. That's your submissive's thought to have.
Okay.
You never think that thought. You're the dom. You're the alpha. You're the queen. You're the boss. You're the goddess. A lion does not concern itself with the opinions of sheep. You're the lion. Your submissive's the sheep.
Okay.
That's how that goes. He's the one that gets to question if he's pleasing you. he's the one that gets to question, is he doing it wrong? Or is he doing it right? Or was that too much or not enough?
So then at what point do I get his feedback if
When you
things
want
aren't
his
right?
feedback. The queen, here's the
I
thing.
didn't really hear because you both talked at the same time.
Oh, you're okay. Let me give you this analogy. When do you get his feedback? Well, do the peasants just bang down the queen's door and enter her throne room whenever the fuck they want?
Definitely not.
No. When do the peasants get to air their grievances?
When the queen desires them to.
Oh, when the queen wants to hear their bickering and bullshit. That's exactly right.
It's starting to make sense.
Ah, the queen gets to call the people into her presence that she wants or does not want. And it's really up to her how and if she solves their issues. Ding, ding, ding. Rachel's on point right now. And that's exactly it, is you have to own the fact that part of, and Mathos, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are not going to correct me. I just know I'm not wrong. So I just want him to feel like he can correct me if he needs to, but I'm not wrong. And I'm going to tell you the truth here, Mommy Cass. A huge part of the submissive arousal that just gets them blissed out of their fucking minds is knowing that their opinion really doesn't matter. And what I mean by that is, I know that what my dominant says goes. And that I could maybe tell her what I want, but it's up to her to give it to me at the time that she wants to give it to me and in the way she wants to give it to me. And that lack of power or control is often hugely arousing and enticing to submissives. But that requires you, Mommy Cass, to own your space. And if he comes to you wanting to play or be spanked and you are tired and you don't want to play and be spanked, then you go, no, Mommy needs you under her feet tonight. And then maybe if you're a good boy, I'll consider your request tomorrow.
Okay. I can do that.
I mean, Mathos, would that just like ruin everything for you?
No.
No. He needs to know that it's not all about him all the time. And if there's something that he does not like, well,
then that's too fucking bad.
Then that's too fucking bad. Exactly. And here's the thing, that's why we get our submissives limits. That's why we get their hard limits and their soft limits and their safe word. That is what they get to communicate with us. But that's what those boundaries are. It's like the fence. You guys have heard me use the study with the kids on the school ground play yard, and how the schoolyard that did not have the fence around the playground, the kids stayed really close to their teachers. But the playground with the fence around it, the kids spread out and went right up to the fence and stuck their fingers through the fence and all that. Because when we know where the boundaries are, we know exactly how far we can go and still be safe. And that's the same principle when it comes to limits and boundaries and consent through your safe word in BDSM. Is you are aware of what he considers to be a genuine punishment, something that he doesn't prefer but will still consent to. You know those things that he will never ever consent to and will be a violation if you do them. You know the things that we're kind of hesitant about it right now, but maybe in the right context, or if you seduce it in the right way, or we go slow about it, then my soft limit can maybe reconsider that. Then his curiosities and his interests and his safe word. And you get all of that data so that you can just be free to play and do whatever the fuck you want. And unless you hear that slow word or that safe word, you keep going.
Okay.
Like, this is about you. This is about you, queen.
And I think that's where I struggle, is because it's never been like in past experiences or whatever, it's never been about me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard for me to step into that because I'm not used to that. I'm
Yeah.
used to always having to please someone else.
Yes. And FemDom is the exact opposite. If you go into FemDom with that people-pleasing codependency, you will never experience the bliss and the joy and the power that comes with domination, that comes with being a great FemDom and having that space. It goes for men too. Like, if you're an insecure, codependent, people-pleasing dominant, you are not going to give your submissive the experience they're looking for, because then they're the ones that are basically calling the shots. You're just the service top at that point.
And that's kind of what it's evolved into, and I don't want that. I
Mhm.
definitely don't want that.
Exactly.
And I know that's not what he wants either.
Yeah, yeah. So I would just say, as a very practical step, I want you to take some time, Mommy Cass, when you have some downtime and you're feeling nice and relaxed and grounded. I would like you to spend some time alone in a very beautiful or feminine or sexy setting. And I want you to make a list of all of the things that would be fun or arousing or pleasing to you about FemDom.
I'm writing this down.
Good. So ask yourself, in what way? I mean, that sounds heavenly. You do it too. All the FemDoms do this exercise. So, if it's in a beautiful, bathtub, and you have candles lit and great music and whatever, then write down, what would I like to get out of this as a dominant? What would please me? What would excite me? What would arouse me? And just let your mind go. You don't have to tell anyone these things. You don't have to show this to anyone. This is just between you and yourself. And just let your mind go. And exactly, Queen Maeve, exactly. So just let your mind go and see what it comes up with. And you might realize that your draw or a big appeal in FemDom to you is acts of service, where you have an extra hour in your day to just rest and do creative, fun things that you enjoy because he's freeing up so much in your schedule. And maybe that's a really big allure for you. Or maybe the power that you feel, you have to be, work for somebody all day, but you can come home and call the shots. Whatever it is, you're going to start seeing some themes come up for you.
So something has happened in our dynamic recently that we haven't really discussed, and it's the acts of service is definitely my love language, and that and gifts.
Mm-hmm.
But what queen doesn't like to get gifts? So about 2 weeks ago was my sub's last day of work outside of the home,
Mm-hmm.
and right after that, he became my domestic bitch. So he does the
Fantastic.
laundry, he does the dishes, he does the vacuuming, he does everything.
Love that.
And I work outside the home, which is fine.
Nice. Well, I think that's a great balance then. That's wonderful. And so if that's, if he's already doing those things, fantastic. Write those down too. Because we want to be able to praise and, give rewards if we need to. So write those things down if he's already pleasing you in those areas. But I would just allow yourself to get creative. Go into fantasy land. Like, one of the things that I love so much is massages. I love back massages. And so maybe if he gives you a proper massage when your back is hurting, then you'll spank him.
Okay.
Things like that. But we use what he loves to leverage behavior we want.
Okay. That's actually very helpful.
Good. But the caveat there is you have to know what behavior you want.
That's true.
So I would just say be really honest with yourself and just give yourself permission. Just give yourself permission to be the queen that you are in this dynamic and explore what would genuinely excite you, arouse you, please you, make you laugh, hell, make you smile, whatever. It doesn't all have to be just sexual and kink related. One of my greatest joys as a dominant was just absolutely laughing my ass off at my submissives. Having them do the most ridiculous, humiliating things was a source of great humor and fun for me. And I legitimately loved laughing at them. So, you know, just embrace, give yourself permission to explore whatever it is that makes you happy about FemDom.
Okay. I can do that.
Awesome. Start there. And then I think when you run into those thoughts of, am I doing it wrong? Was that good enough? Was that hard enough? Was that too much? Was that not enough? I want you to do a full stop anytime one of those thoughts hits you. Full stop. Because that's a codependent submissive thought, and you are not a codependent submissive.
Right.
So full stop. And I want you to come up with a little one-liner. So it could be, you know, if those thoughts are coming up, you didn't do it good enough, or you didn't do it hard enough, or not enough, or too much, or blah, whatever. Then you full stop and you're going to talk back to that thought. And you're going to come up with a one-liner, whether your one-liner is, shut the fuck up, I'm not a codependent submissive, I'm a badass dominant. Or whether your one-liner is, I don't need to worry about whether I did it good enough. I am enough. Whatever it is, I want you to full stop whenever you get one of those thoughts and talk back to it. Come up with a one-liner and talk back to it.
Okay. I will do that.
Doable?
It's very doable. I'm all about self-talk.
Okay. Awesome. So say it out loud. Literally say it out loud, because our brains absorb it when we say it out loud, and we will register it. So that's number one, is we're going to full stop whenever we hear one of those thoughts in our head. We're going to come up with our one-liner. We're going to speak back to that nasty thought that doesn't belong there. And then the second piece of homework is just spend some time in a really beautiful setting, relaxing setting, sexy setting, writing down some of the things that you personally would love to get out of FemDom, find pleasing, fun, funny, exciting, arousing, etc.
Okay, I can do that.
Awesome. Do you feel like those two things will get you going with some positive momentum here?
Yes, very much so. The list of things is going to give me places to jump off from, and the full stop is going to help me to control the thoughts that I have.
Good. Yes. And that's really the key, is we need to make those subconscious thoughts conscious, because then we can slow them down and we can tackle them and really, you know, start reprogramming some of these things. Because the same thing goes for you that I was talking to Little Lemon about. If you want to change this change is going to come through consistency and emotion. So the more times that you shut down these thoughts, do what the fuck you want to do, and it works out well for you, the easier it's going to be for your brain to go, oh yeah, we don't even need to think those thoughts anymore.
Right. Because I am enough.
And because you're going to start building these really positive experiences consistently enough that it's going to rewire the old self-talk and the old experiences that led you to these beliefs in the first place. So you're on the right track 100%. And I feel like Mathos, is pretty down to be supportive regardless of what you tell him.
He is the most submissive man, sub, whatever you want to call him, I've ever met in my entire life. Like, I love this little guy to the ends of the world and back.
Oh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. So it sounds like, you know, you can't really do much to mess this up, Mommy Cass. I don't think you can.
I think someone may have said that once or twice.
You better tread carefully, Mathos.
See, now he's just asking for it, and I can't give it to him because then I'd be giving him what he wants.
But it's okay to give him what he wants if he's being good. And if that would please you and make it things fun for you too, then have fun.
That's true.
If he's being a good boy, then have fun together. It's only when he's being, you know, an unruly little beta that we withhold what they want. Yeah, you can give him a happy smack.
Or 3.
Or 3. Or 30. However many you feel like. Absolutely. So, did I understand you fully, Mommy Cass? Did I speak to your question appropriately?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. So those are my takeaways for you today. Start working on those, and then we can check in with each other and see how you're doing, if we need to re-strategize, what's working, what's not, but we can readjust if we need to. All right, girl?
Yeah. Hey, I got to do something for Rob, though.
Yes. What's happening?
I just smacked him.
Okay.
For content purposes.
Yes. I didn't hear it. It needs to be louder.
You didn't? Okay, hold on. Ready? There.
Oh, that was nice. That was a nice little dunk that I heard. Yeah. How did Rob know what I was typing? Because we all know where we all are. It's fine. We have a pack mind now, gentlemen. Everything's good. All right. Well, Mommy Cass, do you have any other questions, comments, or criticisms for me tonight?
Definitely no criticisms, comments. I love you. You're amazing. I love this community. I love everybody in it. Questions. I have a gazillion questions. We'd be up all night, so I'll just have to wait my turn again.
All right. Well, feel free to type up any questions in group coaching anytime, or ask Miss Elle, and I'll do my best to get on them and try to keep up with them as much as possible. But thank you so much for trusting me. Everyone, give Mathos and Mommy Cass a round of applause for being so open and vulnerable and sharing tonight. We love you guys so much. And we do. We have the best community ever. I love this community too. So sweet. So sweet. All right, everyone. So we've been at it for 2 hours now. We got 4 people in. Did we change some lives and relationships tonight, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls? Have we had a good time? Yes, absolutely. I am so glad to hear it. Definitely ours best 2 hours. Wonderful. I'm very glad to hear that. Well, thank you all so much for participating, for trusting all of us like always. It's such an honor. And I want to say we've got Cricket and Connor. Cricket's not even here. Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. Connor, I'm not ignoring you, and I would like to answer your question. I also believe that you and or your wife need to reply to me about our one-on-one. And if we book it before the end of the month, I don't care. If we have to book it into the next month, it won't count toward the next month. You'll still have both. Just FYI. But you better book it before the end of the month, or that deal is off the table. Thank you all. Thank you. Yes. Yes, Perp. My pleasure. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. So yes, Connor, I would love to address this either next group coaching session, or if you and or your lovely and beautiful and amazing wife would like to talk to me separately or together at our next one-on-one, then I can help you guys out with some strategy there too. All right. Good night, Graham. We love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the love. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. All right. Yes. So just DM me. Let me know when you guys want to meet. Okay. I'm going to try to stop the recording. I just hit stop, right? Sleep well, everyone. I shall be watching. Okay. Good night was a highlight every week. Goodness. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, good evening. Good night, everyone. Queen Maeve, Rob. Good night, everyone. Thank you again. My pleasure, Little Lemon. I love you all so much. Sweet dreams. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Priscally. I love you so much, girlfriend. Go set those sexy boundaries, Priscally. All right, everyone. Good night. Much love to all of you, and I will talk to you very soon right here on this server. Good night. Kisses. Hugs.